Hey, good morning. It is Friday. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Glad to have you along as we begin today. We're sitting at 70, a little bit of fog in low-lying areas, so be careful as we do that. It's going to be warm. 93 is set to be the high, 99 for a heat index today. We got weather details coming up. We'll tell you all about that here in just a few moments. An active night of criminals as they were out and about last night. I've been up a good bit chasing some of this stuff, so we'll give you the inside scoops coming up at 7 o'clock as we'll get the morning show underway then. As we said, it is Friday. It is so good to have it here. Weekend relaxing. I hope you enjoy yourself. A lot of people still taking vacations, trying to get to the beach while they can. Well, summer is so much shorter for vacations and things with the kids now. It's changed a lot since you and I were probably in school. Comes quick there. Good morning. We'll have a lot coming up in just a moment. We'll get into those headlines shaping America in a moment. Right now, we go to Collinsville. It's time now to get a good word for the day.
The Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Cranmer, in the 16th century ultimately put his life on the line for his Protestant convictions. After signing a recantation that would spare his life,
Paul says in Philippians 3:1, "Finally, my brothers, rejoice in the Lord. To write the same things again is no trouble to me, and it's a safeguard for you." Now, Apostle Paul's call to rejoice in the Lord is more than just this feel-good phrase. I mean, it's a command granted in reality, right? He's not offering some shallow advice or ignoring life's pain. No, he's giving a deep, spirit-led reminder of where our joy is rooted, right? When life is uncertain, joy in the Lord is our anchor. Now, what's remarkable is that he's writing this from prison, chained and mistreated. Yet his command to rejoice, not in comfort or freedom or success, but in the Lord. Beloved, the Lord makes all the difference. Joy that's rooted in Christ, it doesn't depend on our circumstances. It depends on Him. Now, this isn't the first time Apostle Paul called us to rejoice. He's done it before, and he says, look, I don't mind to do it again. Why? Because he knows we need reminded. Life wears us down, trials test us, we forget whose we are and where our hope is found, and so discouragement creeps in and our joy dissipates. But we need joy, real Christ-centered joy. You see, one of the functions of joy is to protect us. It safeguards our hearts from bitterness, our minds from despair, our faith from collapsing. Rejoicing in the Lord is so key. It's not ignoring hardship. It's anchoring your heart in the unchanging character of God. So today, if you're weary or burdened, look, don't look inward for some inner fortitude and don't look outward chasing some temporary relief. Look upward. Rejoice in the Lord. He hadn't changed. His promises are still true. And that's reason enough to rejoice again and again. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Welcome. We would like to welcome WMOX joining us on the radio as well this morning as we get this day well underway. As I said, 70 right now. We'll take a look at radar in a moment, find out what's out there. Chance of showers this afternoon, 40% chance moving in after 1 o'clock. Well, how do you know you got a thief? I don't know how, number one, you could legitimately go to a driver's license bureau and they print this on your driver's license. We had some people that was involved in a heist. They were going down the road in an 18-wheeler. After they've made their heist, they pulled the truck over and on the driver's license, and I'm not kidding, he's looking at me out of the corner of his eye over here. His last name, let me get what his last name was. Diamond was his last name, but his first name on his driver's license was No Name Given, listed as his first. Now, seriously, who is going to issue that? California. Well, there you go. Ding, 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 ding. I just cannot get over that someone let that go through without checking. And you wonder if we have illegals in our country. I would say so. It's the land of Texas. When you get out of that way, there's a fake driver's license booth on every corner. I've seen them many, many, many times. Steve Bannon visited the White House yesterday. I haven't heard that name in quite some time, at least not in the same circle as Donald since the first election. But he did visit the White House. Maybe it was counseling that they did. Unsure of that. As people, and again, people try to put fear in you. And I was looking at this. I've got it pulled up. I saw it on, I think it was Sean Hannity the first time out of the corner of my eye. And then it popped up as I was scrolling through news headlines this morning to where people try to put fear about deporting people. Again, you back this down. Are you legally here? Can you vote here? Do you have the right to be here as an American citizen? Kind of point blank. There's gray line, however you want to word it. But Democrats have got an ad going to where it shows a young couple walking down the street and ICE comes up and takes his girlfriend away. In a way to scare Americans. I don't know what to say about that. I truly don't. If they were to put effort into making America safe again, I think the world would be a better place. That's just my two thoughts on that. Now, depending upon where you look at this, I've heard this, I've seen that. I'm not sure that any poll is worth what it's written on, but we do see that it says this morning that approval rate on Donald Trump is 54%, disapproval at 45%, strongly disapprove at 40%. As we look at the National Guard deployment, 57% of all Americans agree with that. Interesting there. We'll get back to that. Keep that in mind as we'll get to a story here in just a moment. Fugitive on the run for 6 weeks has been apprehended. Seattle, Washington, there at the airport is where he was finally caught. He was being transported from Kentucky to Kentucky so he could face outstanding warrants and escaped. He has been caught and brought back to Washington, and he will go back to Kentucky to face those warrants that he didn't do. They'll probably keep a better eye on him this time, so to speak. We'll put it that way. I've never noticed this, and maybe you have and maybe you didn't. But this week at the White House, a huge flag. Trump called it 100 foot, and then the girl that does all the speaking goes, wait a minute, it's actually 88 feet if someone wants to get upset over it. But they've installed a new flagpole on the South Lawn. Have y'all seen it? It's absolutely gorgeous. Huge American flag flying at the White House. I'd never noticed that it wasn't there. In Trump style, they were installing it. He walked down and said, is everybody here legal? It was kind of funny. All I've got to say about that. Let's see what else we've got going on. We've got a former jail guard that's been arrested. He's been charged with abusing inmates with a taser. He lied about it. They went back and found it on tape. He's in deep trouble now. He'll face his crimes. Trump has agreed and approved for disaster relief for Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, and North Carolina of recent storms that went through and tore up homes. They're going to work on that. We had a lot of flooding and this and that in those states, and they're working on that to get them help as soon as possible. Trump says, and we'll see where this goes in the future, what holidays he's talking about, we don't know, but he says there's too many non-working holidays in America. We'll see where this goes over the next few days, months, whenever they change that. A mother who drove, it was a mom is the way this headline reads, is where it was Arizona where this happened. She drove a truck through a park full of kids. She ran over a 12-year-old girl as she did this. She's been sentenced to 10 years in prison for doing so. Makes you shake your head, doesn't it? Boy, I don't know if y'all have seen this headline. The racetracks in Louisiana, 84 people arrested. ICE showed up. They were scrambling. They arrested 84 illegals at the racetrack there. New Orleans is where all that went down. Lots to talk about that. As well, ICE says it ain't so. L.A. Dodgers, have you seen this to where supposedly ICE pulled up on the scene and they said you can't come into our stadium? ICE is saying that's not really what went on. They did pull in the parking lot. It was kind of like a staging area. They weren't going in outside the stadium. They pulled in there to stage. It happens here. It happens every town where police will find a place where they want to stage before they go do an arrest somewhere. They get their ducks in a row, so to speak. And it's done all the time in every state. What else do we have going on this morning? Let's see here. We have another, Florida is where this is. And I mentioned this a couple of, maybe it was 3 weeks ago when we had our first person that died from the heat. A child being left in a car, and it is ever increasingly getting worse as I look at the headlines. Florida. A father has been arrested as he went on a drinking spree. Left his child in the car as he went drinking. It was his son. How horrible that is. 18 months old. He has died from the heat. Let's see. Gary invites all the kids at First Baptist to come to First Baptist Church in Lauderdale starting Sunday at 6 through 8, first through sixth grade. That's probably going to be, if I'm not mistaken, y'all have got Vacation Bible School starting. So we'll hope they'll come up and enjoy the fun with y'all now. Let's see. They're saying that there's some form of new COVID that bothers your throat. Variant NB 1.8.1. Be on the lookout for that. Hopefully there's nothing to that at all. The guy next door. We've always heard those stories, but, well, here's another example of that. Pennsylvania. They found a girl alive in his house that's been missing for a year. Didn't seem like he was that type of person. He's been arrested. You never know what horrors are right down the road, do we? Hey, the Stanley Cup, we talked about them winning that yesterday. Do y'all remember that? Fort Lauderdale, Florida is where we go. That Panthers were celebrating. They've already dented the Stanley Cup. Authorities say, well, it's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last time that it gets, well, damaged. As we look at this is something, 17 illnesses and 3 deaths has been linked to Kroger and Walmart over chicken Alfredo meals. It's been causing people to go to the hospital. Manufacturer Fresh Rim issued a voluntary recall of their ready-to-eat chicken fettuccine. If I said that correctly, that's a tough word there. Sold nationwide there. If you have a question there, you can call the hotline to that company, and they'll tell you so. If you've got some, I'd read the package before I finish eating that. The thing about all of this, that when they have recalls on food, and we all know this, you put it in the freezer and you forget when you bought it. Or at least I do. When it's time to cook it, you have no idea that something could be wrong. My, oh my. I don't know much about this girl. Only know her name, and I've seen a couple of pictures and videos, and I'm beginning to think that she probably has some. Do you remember how Madonna was when she first started? Very risque at her concerts. This girl is ranking up just like she did. Some of it kind of raunchy. I'll even say it that way. Sabrina Carpenter. She is considering banning cell phones from her concerts to give you that 70s feel of being not connected. Nobody may not come to the show after that.
Well, I mean, you could probably get all 3 cell phones.
My, oh my. Let's see what else is going on this morning as we look at this. Oh, Newsom got some very horrible news yesterday in California. Have y'all heard about this? Supreme Court said Trump has control of the National Guard. Imagine that, the commander-in-chief being in charge of what he was already in charge of. Boy, we got issues in our country, don't we? Divided is an understatement. And I know a lot of you go, it reminds me of 1859. It does. There's a lot that went on then that's going on now to where people are both sides of the fence. A nation cannot stand divided, and we know that. Oh, is it Tom? I think that's his name. Tom Holman? Yeah, Holman. He says, yeah, we're not through with raiding work sites for illegal people. Far or near, he's coming. It's not over. Be ready if you've got illegals working. He says they're coming. Again, they're focusing on people that are criminals first, and then they'll move down. The little girl, I know that y'all know about this story as well. There was a little girl swimming. She was 9 years old, and a shark bit her hand, nearly took her hand off. She's recovering well. She's in the hospital. We wish her luck. Dwayne says the new COVID nickname is Razor Throat. That is correct there. I don't want anybody to get that stuff. Let's see. Oh, Memphis. This is really, really close. And how they came about it, I haven't read all the details yet. But a man with a taser, tape, and rope is accused of stalking the mayor of Memphis, Tennessee. He was caught outside his home. Had all that in a bag. I don't think he was just passing through to you. Whoopi tends to cross lines. I don't know if you've seen this statement that she made, and it's caused a lot of backlash. The View. I don't watch the show. Whoopi Goldberg was the headline that says, has she lost her mind? She compared women who are being beaten, raped, and killed in Iran. And of course, if they take their turban off, they get in, I don't know if you call it a turban, but it's called jihab or something that you wear on your head. They get beaten for taking that off. And she claims that those women are being treated just as though black women are here in the United States, and people aren't agreeing with her. It's bad over there, y'all. You don't really understand how it is in other countries and how great we've got it in America. A couple of 60-day trips to some people not being able to come back for 60 days may make them realize this. It's really, we do live upon the greatest nation there is upon this earth. And so few people realize just how great we do have it. Let's not let those rights be taken away from us. We'll be right back with your forecast next.
We are at Downtown Meridian at Meridian Shoe Factory on 22nd Avenue. They are having a one-time closeout sale on all their old inventory to make room for their new inventory. They have slashed their prices from $40 to $30 to even $20. And for every shoe you buy, your name gets put in the raffle to win a wonderful prize at the end of this month. Come see them Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturday from 10 to 2.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia, at docstoyota.com or on Facebook, and remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. Garrett.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Welcome back. Let's get into our forecast now and find out exactly what we've got going on today. As I said just a moment ago, we're sitting now at 70 as we wait for a high of 93. As we look back in history today, 1953, it was warm, folks, 103 degrees today then. 1953. And they didn't have a lot of air conditioner back then. Vent windows were famous in cars.
Reckon they had a thermometer?
I don't think they had a thermometer working, Greg.
You didn't want to see how hot.
1965, it was kind of cool. It was 54 today. Not bad at all. Still waiting on that forecast from Jackson for the state. It's not there. It's a blank screen. But Bama, they're on it today. 90 degrees in Demopolis. We'll see that in Tuscaloosa. Birmingham, a tad cooler at 89 as we look across to Troy and Montgomery. Going to be a tad warmer there, 92. Now, there are areas of fog in North Mississippi. You folks in Winston County, especially north of Louisville, Lake Teocata, be on the lookout for fog. We'll see that as well. Headed up into Noxubee County, anywhere up around Crawford as you go near Columbus Air Force Base. Fog there this morning. We'll look at radar in just a moment. As we see the heat stress for today, look at this. Really hot back over toward Jackson. Should be 110 today. Now, the Meridian area could go anywhere from 95 to 105. Right now, we're expecting it to be right at the 100-degree mark, 99 to 100 for a heat index this afternoon.
That's the chill factor?
That's the chill factor, yeah. As we look at tomorrow, yep, it's here. 110 is what we're expecting with the heat index tomorrow. We'll keep you posted on that and let you know just how bad it gets. Whew.
Day to put a roof on.
Yes, it is. Here's our outlook for the next 10 days. It's not getting any better in Mississippi. It's just hot there. Here's our 7-day forecast, and we've got rain, at least small chances every day for the next 7 days. We make it to 92 today with a 40% chance of showers. After 1 o'clock is what we're expecting. Again, the high 93 to 92, depending upon where you're standing. As we get into Saturday, look at that, 94. We'll get down to 73 tomorrow night. 40% chance of rain Saturday, Sunday, and then we're down to 30% chance of rain on Monday, but still hovering 94, moving to 95 the next day. Oh, y'all look out. Wednesday, it's going to be 97. So what does that mean the heat index is going to be? We're guessing hot. Stand by. We'll give you the rest of the story when that arrives. As we go all the way to July 4th, Greg's favorite day of the year. Can't miss out on that. It looks like on the 4th it'll be 89 with a 40% chance of showers. That's not bad. Not at all. I think we'll have a good day with that. Be able to do some outside activities. As we look at this, we're basically right at the 90-degree mark for the next 2 days, with the next 2 weeks, rather, after we get past that 97. This coming. As we look at our greatest fishing times today, looks like a major time to be will be this morning starting at 7 o'clock through 9 a.m. Another time right at dark, 7:45 until 10 o'clock. So you got a few minutes there. Doesn't hurt to show up early to fish. A minor time this afternoon around 2:30 to 3:30 if you got to go. Sunrise happened at 5:48 this morning, and the sun will set at 8:04 as each day gets just a little bit longer, doesn't it? Brought to you by our friends there at Clarkdale Superette. Now, as we look at this, let me back up. Absolutely nothing happened over the next 7 days from the National Hurricane Center. We like that. Nothing to worry about there. As we cut across, let's go back to radar now and take a look at what we have showing up on radar this morning. Almost got it there as we pull it up. This is already, as we go to this down in Mexico, this is coming down as we look at this. This is Eric. It's a tropical depression now. Wind speed of 29 miles an hour, gust of 40 miles an hour as it's slowly fading away. As we look at heat indexes, look at this. Back toward Vicksburg, we even got it down to Laurel, Hattiesburg. We have heat advisories until 7 o'clock tonight. Now, not to say that it can't expand here, but we've certainly got it to the west and south of here as we go north. Look how thick the fog is, all the way from Tuscaloosa to Birmingham up to Gadsden. And this picks up, again, right up above West Point, Amory, Mississippi, heavy. You'll start to see some, again, here around Louisville, but it gets thicker as you go the further north. Ripley, Mississippi, Belmont, Red Bay, Alabama, all of those areas, Guntown, Corinth, y'all are under a lot of fog. So be careful. Look at that up near Murfreesboro, Nashville. A million people trying to figure out how to get to work today. All on what, I-40? Bless y'all. I'm kind of glad that's not us there. We've got the morning show coming up. We've got coffee, lots of that. Hope you'll get yours and join us.
Snacks.
Oh yeah, we got snacks. We got some thank yous to do here in a minute. This stuff looks good. Y'all see this? We'll tell you about it in just a moment. And we'll do some sampling. We're not sure Julia can't take it all. We'll be right back at the top of the hour. Join us.